agbára yìí kò ṣe fún òkè ọ̀yà nìkan. Tí ò bá sí àwa èmi tí dúró wájú yìí tí ó lérí ogun.
All right, thank you very much for joining us today. Lovely Monday evening. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Good evening to everybody. All right. I thought I was going to do something. I tried it earlier, and I think it worked. Like while trying to set up, sometimes it takes a while. We can listen to. We have on our YouTube channel. It's called Emilokon Tinubu Speech That Changed Everything. So if you want to watch the full thing, you can, watch it later on YouTube. There are many other good stuff there. Well, good evening. Good to be here. All right. Like we always do before we get started, even though we've been on for a bit, having listened to some of President Tinubu's Emilokon speech. But we are starting officially now. Let me greet everybody who is in here. Good evening, Mr. Lale Konawe. Python Lee, good evening, sir. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, Lagos, and Omokende. Was asking if we're having a live show. I mean, sometimes I'm a labora. All right, just to make sure that we're not just listening to music, we are already part of the session. Okay, before we get started, let me thank folks who have helped to get us to 59.7k likes right now on TikTok. So I'm talking about people like Ipo Jinodu, Koboko, Abi71, T-Dan, Ogbeni Agbe. Let me clap for you first. I'll find the rest later. Thank you very much. Thank you, Biola Extraordinary, AK May. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for tapping and liking the live. Thanks. All right, if you're on TikTok, please let's tap together. Let's keep pushing this live to the FYP. What you have to do is just repeatedly tap on your screen, okay? And also share the live with others. Thank you very much. For those of us on YouTube and on Facebook, we're glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining us. Please like the live and also share. We are going to have a great time together today. Give me a second. Let me check our folks on YouTube to be sure we're good, and then we can get started. Hey, àdúrà ńlá nìyẹn o. Àmì o, ẹ ṣé o. Ní lọ́jọ́ tẹ́bí ń pọ̀nà. Àmì o. Àwọn Yorùbá lecturer ti dé bíbá ẹ̀sìn. Ó ti dójú ẹ̀ ń sẹ́yìn. Kí n sọ bí President Tinubu. Ó ti dójú ẹ̀ ń sẹ́yìn. Àwọn àdúrà ilé yìí ó nípọn. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Lagos. Okay. So how is everybody? Ṣé dáadáa ní gbogbo àwa? Gbogbo ara lè ń kọ́. Àbí kínkín lédè Ifẹ̀, kínkín lòun fẹ̀. Wọ́n á ní ìyàn ara lé sí kọ́. Ìyàn ara lé sí kọ́. Ṣé dáadáa ni? Beautiful. So today we're talking about a number of things. It's Monday, so we have a lot of news to cover, and we may not get into history today, but I promise tomorrow or sometime this week we are going to have at least one or two history sessions this week. But let's get started with today's session. We're discussing Southwest, how Southwest is leading in VAT contribution in Nigeria. We're going to talk about the new NBA president, Balejo Kusoya. We're also going to talk about how Isaac Fayose has changed his mind about his beloved Peter Obi. What's also happening in Taraba State, we'll talk about that as well as what a businessman said to a group of journalists who was asked a question. It was actually almost like a podcast, actually. It was an interview, and he called for Nnamdi Kanu to be unallowed to be killed. We'll talk about that as well. But let us begin with this good news about VAT contribution in Nigeria. All right. So I'm going to read from cable. 1 second, please. Beautiful. The cable index has this nice breakdown. By the way, this is January to June. So we're in July, and so this covers the first half of the year 2026. The contributions, to the VAT pool by different geopolitical zones and also states. So let's start with zones, and then we'll go to states later. All right. So the Southwest contributed 2.16 trillion naira. I feel there's some things I'm supposed to say before we get into the news. Is everybody okay? Are we all fine? I don't just jump into the stuff, but because we're family, aren't we? All right. Just want to make sure that I just feel like I should say something apart from like hello everybody, and so on and so forth. Having said that, let's start. So back to this. What the 6 geopolitical zones contributed to the VAT pool and received in half 1 2026, that's the first half of the year, January to June. So the Southwest contributed 2.16 trillion naira. We received 691.56 billion naira. As how, like the young people say, as how now. So we contributed 2.16 trillion, but we received 691.56 billion. So we only got 31.99% of what we contributed. The South contributed 880.58 billion naira, and they received 429.99 billion naira. So they got 48.83% of what they contributed, which is also, of course, less than what they contributed. North Central contributed 302.81 billion naira, and they received 350.17 billion naira. That's 115.64%. The Northwest contributed 205.52. By the way, North Central got more than what they contributed, right? So they contributed 302.81. They got back 350.17. So it's 115.64%. The Northwest contributed 205.52 billion naira, and they received 384.56 billion naira. So they received 187.11% of what they contributed. The Northeast contributed 152.82 billion naira, and they received 285.70 billion. So they got 186.95% of what they contributed. Then the Southeast, where the development goes on in Nigeria, they contributed 79.72 billion naira, and they got back 230.89 billion. So they got 291.28% of what they contributed. I just want to thank God. Testimony time. That the Southwest is doing well, and I'm going to mention some of those states much later. It was quite nice that we're able to do this, but I also think that this also creates the grounds to now talk more about fiscal federalism and the fact that it makes no sense for people to be to be contributing so much and be getting back so little in the name of we are one Nigeria. This is not how one Nigeria should work. I don't believe in this kind of arrangement. It doesn't mean the fact I don't believe in it doesn't mean I hate the idea of unity. It just means I hate the idea of stupidity. It has to be stupid for you to contribute 2.16 trillion and get back 691.56 billion naira. I think it's stupid. I just think so. Don't tell me help your brother out. The thing about Nigeria is that there's nobody along with Shefun, right? Everybody has something they can work with. And if they know that they can just go cap in hand on a monthly basis to get something they didn't have to work for, they're not going to be creative. That's the problem. All right? The folks who are doing it, it's not like, and by the way, this is not about Lagos, because I saw some clowns. I don't know why why they do this in Nigeria. Say, take out Lagos. If you're a Yoruba person and you hear that thing, please don't join them more. Remove Lagos. Don't remove Lagos. Lagos is already part of, is Southwest. Don't remove it. But guess what? Even if you remove it, don't remove it. Don't touch it. But even if you were to remove it, I would say remove Ogun, remove Ekiti, remove Oshun, remove which one? Ondo. Kuku remove everybody. Leave Oyo alone. Oyo will finish many of the states in Nigeria. So it's not about Lagos. It's about the ingenuity of the administrators, the governors, and the people leading these states. But when you know that you don't have to do much, we're going to get something at the end of the month. What's the incentive? Why do you have to work? Why do you have to come up with new ideas? Why do you have to generate income? And also, if you are going to destroy bottles of beers in the north, meanwhile, they're going to collect VAT from the same beer in the south. I mean, why should you not take advantage of the largest? These are the issues. Meanwhile, somebody wrote in the comment section says, so who is marginalizing whom? That's a very good question. Somebody just be leeching all over the place and be saying they're being marginalized. It's a crazy thing. Meanwhile, years ago, I used to listen to people from the south and say that certain people, particularly the north, that the northerners, they're parasites, they are this, they are parasites. It's not true. I mean, nobody only pass, but it's not as bad as people think. And it's consistent, by the way. How can folks in Borno, Adamawa, Northeast generate more VAT than folks in the Southeast? Sambisa Forest is literally in the Northeast. Boko Haram. Northeast is essentially the base. Shebi, it is Borno. Then the Northeast. How come they are the ones even doing better than the people who say that, Development Association of Nigeria? Anyway, that's the breakdown. So let's go to the breakdown by states. I won't take everything, just a few. By the way, there are some states in the Southwest, they really need to get working. States like Oshun. What number are they? 34. How now? That one's not even cool at all. It's not Oshun needs to really, the governor, they need to do something. You can't be generating 13.25 billion in 6 months. Haba. This is disappointing. Oshun can do a lot better than this. And perhaps they should first create the environment that allows for businesses to thrive and also for easy collection. They've got to do that. But let's start with the big boys. Lagos contributed 1.81 trillion naira in 6 months. And then, but Lagos has CRB. Okay, Rivers had 560.04 billion naira, but Rivers also has port. So they say that it's water that brings money, which I don't know. Maybe we have to find a way to dredge ocean to other parts of Nigeria. But Oyo says no. Oyo State contributed 253.67 billion naira. Oyo is number 3 in the entire country. Lagos is number 1 for obvious reasons. And by the way, it's not even that obvious. Because listen, you can have a city that has so many people and still not have the proper mechanisms for collecting VAT. So even that collection system they put in place, it's also not, you can't just say it's obvious. It's also something to acknowledge. You got what I mean? So Lagos has 1.8 trillion, Rivers 560, the next is Oyo. And Oyo is no, and I've been hearing all kind of rubbish on social media. People say, oh, it's because, if I find some of these funny comments, I'll read to you. So it's because Oyo is close to Lagos. Then Ogun says it's because it's close to Lagos. If, all of my kids are sharing, you'll be looking for excuses for every good thing that happens to other people. You would never see it as a way, as an inspiration for you to get better. You just look at it and say, there's a reason I can explain the prosperity away. But for me, it's not even for me. I can't use myself in that example at all. Anyway, so I'll just stay with Southwest because I care about everybody, but I don't. If I start mentioning people places, it'd be as if I want to throw jabs, which I want to do, but not yet. So Lagos is number 1. Oyo is number 3. Ondo is number 12. They contributed 34.22 billion naira. All right, Ogun is number 15. Ogun is Ogun has a lot of, so people are saying Ogun should have had more because there's a lot of manufacturing. But it's not about manufacturing. VAT is about consumption, not production. Consumption to production. So when you have production, you can talk about company taxes. When we're talking about VAT, we're talking about value-added tax. We're talking about what people pay consuming what has been produced. Okay? So Ogun is number 15 with 26.43 billion. Taraba is actually doing very well. Taraba is number 21. Plateau is number 22. Sokoto is number 19. Not bad, not bad. Anambra is number 18. Wonderful. Let me not talk. Ekiti is number 24. Not good enough. And then, of course, we have Osun State just chilling in number 34. Meanwhile, they say that everybody says it's the best thing since sliced bread. All of us should go and copy and do, do everything they're doing. Is Abia State. Abia State is number 37. You wonder, do we not have 36 states? That's because Abuja is also there. So FCT is also there. Abia is number 37. By the way, FCT is number 4. Shout out to Nyesom Wiki. But Abia State is number 37. They contributed a paltry sum of 8.77 billion in 6 months, only to receive 43.32 billion. I mean, I'm even angry with Osun State, but at least Osun contributed, cannot contribute, no, or contribute 13, because Osun contributed 13.25 billion and received 46.18 billion. All right? But we can say since it's from the region, let their brother help them out. I mean, their brothers, doing better, right? Abia is number 37. Enugu is number 35. Imo is number 30. Kogi is 26. Ebonyi is 25. Kaduna cannot be number 22. This is bad. We've been to Kaduna. How can Kaduna be 22? I mean, all the governors should do better, particularly Osun State. I mean, everybody should do better, Osun and Ekiti. Particularly Osun. How can it be number 34? This is wrong. This is just bad. Anyway, turns out that the people that, I will say it, the people that taunt everybody and cause people parasites and tell everybody that they're the ones doing everything, they are trailing behind. Okay? And turns out also that the Southwest is actually responsible for, we're carrying the country. Not that we are tired, we just think that there should be better structure to this thing. And I dare say it should also affect the derivation that comes with oil. I've said this several times. I'm a Yoruba man. I don't think I should be sharing oil from Fayose. So in case somebody says, but you're also collecting money from oil, they should also stop that thing. See, everybody will wake up. Let your money wake up. People will wake up once you know that there's no free lunch. There's no state without something. It could be natural resources. It could be. Have you been to Bauchi or to Taraba? Taraba has beautiful scenery. Okay, or Plateau, or Cross River, and I'm not even talking about Yoruba yet. But I'm just talking about Nigeria generally. See Cross River. See what Obudu and Tinapa have become. It's a shame. Tinapa is a ghost town. Obudu is just there. I think the cable car is not even working anymore. I hope they fix it. Those are the places that you wanted to go back in the day. That could bring you money. People would think of what to do. Not all these things where everybody just go and collect, my own share. Meanwhile, there's no sense of gratitude. You go collect my money, see they insult me. Bunch of clowns. So that's how the stuff has, that's how it went. So essentially, Lagos, Rivers, Oyo, Federal Capital Territory, Bayelsa, Delta, they are doing very, very well. Abia, Cross River, Enugu, Osun, they're not doing well at all. And Osun is very close to Oyo. To be fair, Oyo State is not what people think it is. I see a lot of people say all kinds of things. People don't have an idea particularly the capital, Ibadan. But I'm always talking about that. I'm not from there, but I grew up there. I'm from there. I'm not my hometown, but my hometown. If you get what I mean. I'm proud of, you know, I'm proud to say I grew up in Ibadan. People have no idea what that place looks like or what that place produces. Everybody just assumes it's brown roof. But it's good, Sha. At least they cover. So you be thinking it's nonsense until people, it's called that people are making stupendous amount of money from that city. Anyway, we're happy with Oyo State. We're happy with Lagos. We're happy that Ondo is also doing well. But we really need Osun to do better. This is not good enough. Mr. Bola Bolton, thank you, sir. Good to see you, sir. Otojo meta, ṣeun, sir. So, hopefully, this also helps you. You have conversation with people who are always dumping and just saying all kinds of things about Nigeria. The part of the country contributes the least. As a region, even the states, the least. Therefore, they should not be calling anybody clinical because God is at work in other places. You work for them too. Thank you very much, Mr. Bola Bolton, sir. Meanwhile, there is something that Soludo said a while back. You think it's a joke until you hear it from a governor who used to be a CBN governor, right? He's the governor of Anambra State now, but he was the CBN governor, that's the Central Bank of Nigeria. He said the Southeast only contributes 8% to Nigeria's GDP. So if the Southeast were to collapse tomorrow, Nigeria will not be affected. They will only see it as a human disaster and move on. I did not say that. And at this point, so that you not think I'm making it up, I wish I could find you the clip, but since I can't start looking for it right now, you know what, let me see if I can find it. If I don't find it, I'll show you a picture, which encapsulates what I'm trying to say. Right? Here is the picture. Bon. So when people go around just insulting everybody, if you leave this country, nobody will feel it. See something. Okay? Sherry. That's Soludo. If the Southeast leaves Nigeria today, nobody is going to feel it. All right? I think that also should make some people a bit, I mean, I'm not expecting any humility, but 8% to the GDP. Osun should do us better so that our joy can be full. We need our joy to be full. Osun should, please. It's not just in VAT, it's in everything. In IGR, they need to do better. Okay, there are more pictures than video of this, so we're just going to stay with the picture. So we're hoping that Osun does better, and Oyo should keep doing better. I mean, Oyo State will conveniently pay. Let me see. Oyo is 153.67, Abi. The entire South contributed 79.27. Oyo alone contributed 250. Wait, I want to be petty. Let me be petty, eh? Allow 253.67 divided by 79.27 is 3.2. In other words, you have to multiply everything the Southeast got in the first half of this year by 3 to come close, not the exact number, to come close to what Oyo State alone generated in 6 months. How now? How? They call the place brown roof. Northeast is about less than 2%, less than, you have to do like almost 2 times what the Northeast contributed. But the South, you have to multiply by 3.2. And I they insult everybody pass. Meanwhile, somebody said, let them remove. So it actually did, he said, it talked to Grok. I'm just going to talk about it. I'm not going to read out the person's name. It's not that important. But he said that Grok should remove Lagos and remove FCT. Well, Grok may have to also remove Rivers in South. But like I said, even if you remove all of Lagos and everything, Oyo State will still have to, it's still a lot better than many regions. not just the Southeast, you know. So we hope things get better for every part of the country. Then we also hope that people stop being leeches. And this conversation must lead us to talking about fiscal federalism. And eventually we have to have conversations about resource control in this country, particularly in the National Assembly. I think it's about time we had that conversation. All right, moving on. Last week, Fayose got angry. What happened was that he had prayed, not even drank, prayed with Seyi Tinubu. And, you know, because it belongs to an interesting organization, if you can call them that, they decided to drag him because as far as they're concerned, they are holier than everybody. And they should not be seen hobnobbing with people of different political persuasions or other party alignments and all of those things. So apparently, I had a problem with him, and then he went to town. He got very angry. First, he tried to explain himself, and then later on, he just, went off. So what I want to do, we know what happened eventually. I'm sure you already know what happened. You know the end of the story. But let's watch the cinema together. Let's not act as if you don't know. When we're children, let me not go into it. Just do as if you don't know. And in case you don't know, that's even better. So let's start with nǹkan tó dá gbogbo kíní ilẹ̀. Wọ́n ní wípé wọ́n lọ gbàdúrà níbì kan àbí wọ́n lọ wọ́n máa ti ẹ̀fẹ́ ní ara wọn sọ́gun kò ní kí n máa rojọ́ gbogbo yẹn. Ẹ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú eléyìí.
We look at our leg. Nobody knows our face. He must not reveal my face. As we talk tonight, everything we have talked in spirit, the heaven we have set. Amen. All our heart desire will be made. Amen. This leg, we pray for the president tonight. President Tinubu is been flourishing since when I know myself. He is a flourisher. He said, those that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. President Tinubu, we pray for you. Amen. Nobody knows my face. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. But our leg is uniform. This leg today, they represent families. All their heart desire, God will make it happen. Amen. All their dreams will come true. Amen. They said, who shall battle with the Lord? With the Lord. We shall battle with the Lord. They said, ask for a politician today. You will call, I want to be like you. Hey, this leg, we are touching in heart. We bring nothing. We go with nothing. For prosperity for Nigeria. For prosperity for our country, God will make it happen. Amen. God continue to protect, guide, and give us what the ball and make to good health, great mind, and for it to continue to drive the country in a direction that no other leader has ever done, or can achieve, or any other aspirant, or any other country. President Tinubu, you are our helper today. God will give you the strength to make Nigeria better. The wisdom, and to
I mean, it's giving Kegates. Oh boy, it's giving Kegates. Somebody says, and is it? And let me see. I saw something like that. Someone says, "This is Christianity. May God help us." Things like this will give you the idea that Ọlọ́run ló mọ tó ṣe òun. Ọlọ́run ló mọ tó ṣe òun. And I think they are praying from their heart. So regardless, I mean, the whole tongue thing, I think it's just I don't know what it is. Let me just leave it like that. Anyway, they prayed, they sang, and Holy Ghost, they prayed. And that became an issue. People were angry with the fact that he was praying for Tinubu. By the way, let me just say something. Many people in obedient movement are Christians. I'm not saying all. Many people are Christians. For people who claim to be Christians, they're very vile. Why would you have a problem with the fact that somebody is praying for your president and you're in the same? Even Bible says that you should pray for the good of Jerusalem. Of course, you can't even pray for your nation, let alone your president. What kind of bitterness will be in your heart that cannot even allow you to pray for your country? And you call yourself a Christian. You now be going all over the place, sending me stupid messages saying, "Are you not a Christian?" They said that you're a pastor. You don't have sense, so. Because if you have sense, how is it that somebody praying for his nation and his president is somehow contradictory with your so-called puritanical standard, which you don't even have because you're so dirty? Rather. Anyway, they shall dragged uncle. Actually, brother Makwe Fayose is in his 50s. So, brother Makwe one. Onju alo, brother Makwe one. When shall drag brother Sha? But then I went to make a video to respond to the draggers. Take a listen.
Yeah, so I spent quality time with Sheyi, Tinubu, Kubara Chief Priest, Tosin, Prince, and all of us last night. It was a quality time. We discussed politics, we discussed everything discussable. And we decided when I was leaving, she said, "Uncle Isaac, let me walk you to your car." We got to my car. My driver put up and we said, "Oh, let's pray because we've been enjoying sins." So the Spirit came, we started singing, praising God, and all that. She is my brother and I love him dearly. I love him dearly. You can see the video or hear the video. We were praying and we prayed for his father, which is my president. So that doesn't mean I'm in APC. I'm still obedient, 101% obedient. What I tell you? But Tinubu's family, they are my family. They are my family. I love Tinubu. We prayed for him last night. We prayed for ourselves too. She is my brother, and I love them. Even Kubana, Chief Priest, we are all together. We had our deep exchange about politics. We did our calculation, and still I told them we are going to win them. That we are going to win. So this is politics without hate. Nothing. I'm still 100% to be. But Tinubu family, they are my family, and I love them. So that is it. I'm still 101% obedient. No. I'm leading the campaign. No going back. So, family na family. After politics, we will sit down as a family. So thank you and God bless. And you know, when you share video, Isaac don't collect dollar. Isaac is a billionaire. Isaac doesn't need dollar. Isaac just want to see a beautiful country, a beautiful Nigeria. That's what I stand for, and I will change. Love you guys. God bless you.
So he explained, I mean, you heard him. Some people have written some things in the comment section, so I'm going to read some of those things and then we'll go on. So someone says, I won't read everything. Someone says, the spirit how? I mean, there are different types of spirits, apparently. There's a spirit in a bottle. That's why it's called spirit, literally. Spirit. And then there is spirit, Holy Spirit. And then there are other spirits. I don't know which one he's talking about, but the truth of the matter is that I'm also very careful when people are praying. I'm not so, what do you use now? I'm very careful how you speak on people carrying out spiritual activities. Like, it may sound very stupid what they are doing, but when it comes to spiritual stuff, let me just leave and be. But let's talk about the physical one. Someone says that they have fetched some water in their body, they are in the most high spirit. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Yes, Prince says they can excuse Kubana and co visiting Sheyi, but any Yoruba must not do so. Now that one, then go focus. Exactly. So apparently, if a Yoruba person is supposed to be above board, not because they expect any good thing from you, but because as far as they're concerned, you are the one that can be questioned. For their own people is unquestionable. Again, look what you know Arabi. And that's why I keep saying it. If a Yoruba person, what are you looking for in obedient movement? It's the same question the angel asked those ladies when they went to the tomb to see Jesus. He asked them, why are you looking for the living amongst the dead? It's as if people's brains have taken leave. Like they just gone on leave of absence. They attack you, they attack your people, attack your ethnicity. But when their own people do exactly the same thing you're doing, they don't attack their own people. Why? Is there something? And I've said it before, we're not the white people of Nigeria. We did not colonize anybody in this country. We don't owe anybody. Our fathers did not owe anybody anything. We don't owe anybody anything apart from love and respect. There's nothing I owe anybody. I didn't colonize your father. I didn't take your land. There's nothing that I collected from your parents. Therefore, you cannot be, all those things where you want to do, like, how people do with white people, try to give them white guilt. There's no guilt. So what Yoruba people always following people is people insulting you and your elders and criticizing your people unnecessarily. I don't know what your problem is. Anyway, that's the first part. Let's listen to the second part. Then we'll eventually get to what happened afterwards. Take a listen to this bit again. But this is Isaac Fayose, and he was responding. I mean, after this, they then went, to insult him a bit more. So he felt he should explain himself. Take a listen.
I've been seeing a lot of Nigerians opening camera for me, say Uncle Isaac don't go meet Sheyi about to collect money, that they don't bribe Uncle Isaac. Many of you are not get brain. You are not get brain. You are not even worth fighting for in the first place. Number one, let me tell you how I met Sheyi. Sheyi met me at that bar, cocktail bar. I was there drinking with my men. We left Kokopi after watching match. He said, let us stop at cocktail bar and have a drink. When I got to the cocktail bar, 1 hour after Sheyi came in, I didn't greet him. I didn't meet him. I was on my own. He removed his cap and he greeted me like a brother. He greeted me by himself. I didn't even see Kubana chief priest. They greeted me. So I said, Uncle Isaac, you don't see Kubana? And I turned around. I said, Kubana, you've lost weight, oh. How are you? And I greeted him. Am I supposed to be fighting them? And our prayer, Randy Peter for Nigeria, Flag Boy, so many people that have prayed with me knows when we are praying, when we put our leg, we only pray with our leg. They don't cover our face. My witness is Peter for Nigeria. Mama P, we have prayed before with our legs. Even Justice Crack, they know that's my method. Do not record my face if we are talking to God with our legs. We will remove our shoes and we start praying. I didn't know who sang on your mandate when we were praying. I was praying to God. Everybody was praying for themselves. Suddenly, some people started singing on your mandate. That's their problem, not my problem. And before that prayer, we had 2 hours argument on coming election in January. And I told them, I said, Obi is my candidate. I am voting for Obi, and Obi is winning. She said, no, Uncle Isaac, you are coming home. You are coming to us. I said, no. My home is Nigeria. My belief is in Obi. And I was going. He dragged me outside. Say, I'm walking you outside. When we got outside, he said, Uncle Isaac, I'm coming to carry your Rolls Royce too. I'm going to ride your Rolls Royce. You can be going home with this G-Wagon. I said, Sheyi, I brought in 2 cars, 2 convoy, 2 Lexus Jeep, 1 white, 1 black. I don't need extra car. I appreciate your kind gesture. You are a good man. And we pray, we left. All of you are now opening camera. Isaac Fayose, don't talk to them. They are this. My brother, my sister, this year alone, 2026, I've opened 6 estates that are worth 19 billion naira without government, without single government drop, single government money. If I need land, my brother and Wike are best friends. I would have walked in. Wike is my family friend. I would have walked in and said, Wike, give me land. No, I bought from people that have hectares. I bought from outsiders, not from government. So people will not say, Isaac, you are taking bribe. I'm a permanent resident in UK. I risked my life to come and create job here. I risked my life to do everything for Nigerians inside Nigeria. I don't just talk. I come. I show. How many of you that is worth 10 million, 11 million pounds can risk your life, your money, your wealth for people that don't care about themselves? I will not see your comment online. I'm disappointed. God punish you. You are disappointed in yourself. You are the one that's supposed to take your country back, not me. I know how much I spent on Ekiti election. I know what my eyes see for Ekiti election. I know what my eyes don't see for Ekiti election. My mom is sick now. It's the tension of Ekiti election that is making her BP rise. Yeah. And you will sit there and say, Uncle Isaac is collecting, is out dining with them. No, I for they shoot them for road with that. I for they shoot them for road. I am not APC. I will never be APC. I'm not in any party. Even Peter Obi that has spent my money last election has not called me one day to say thank you, Isaac. Osun election, everybody were there 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, that was shouting, no, Adeleke, no. Nobody has visited me to say, Isaac, thank you. I risk my life. I stick my neck out for the people. Nobody thanked me. They now met me at the bar. We were praying. They were singing on your mandate. You are casting me. Am I the one stealing your money? Am I the one chopping your money? Why don't you use the energy on them? Why me that I'm trying to save you? I don't give a fuck anything you say. It is your cup of tea. Cup of tea. Make you sleep with them. Yeah, people. Who cares?
All right, that was Isaac Fayose explaining himself. Here's the point. If you belong to any group, you have to be explaining yourself like this. Get out of that group. It's one thing for you to explain yourself when you're wrong, right? Maybe you have rules. I don't know, which kind of rule go tell you, say, make you not have your own mind? that everybody you see you must hate. You're right. Anybody that you want to, anybody that doesn't believe in your presidential candidate or doesn't support your presidential candidate, you must hate that person and not have anything to do with them. These are people that will be shouting that Jesus is coming soon. Just take back your country. You think they're doing this for religion? If you belong to any group, you have to be shalaying like this. Shalaye. Just exit. I don't know. It's not like they are feeding you. So I think this was not enough, by the way. I mean, I'll read some of the things in the comment section before I go to the next clip. Someone says, even toxic marriage no reach this level. Abi. Someone says, you risk your life, but Isaac, you be soldier, and it will end up like Banjo. The truth of the matter is that it doesn't matter what he says. He's guilty by his ethnicity. It does not matter what he says. They will always have something against him because he's Yoruba. And that's why as soon as he said this, I hearing things like, oh, is Ronu already, it's finally Ronu, is how they behave, and things like that. It's what you expect. Anyway, I guess, I mean, he said this, and then they didn't stop, and so he got really fed up, and then he made this clip. We're going somewhere, please stay with me. He then made this clip. Take a listen to this.
And you knew that no go better for you. Obi wane na everywhere we dey sing. Even my hotel for Ibadan, I catch you now for Obi. I did everything. Now you na sell you na vote. Now you na even come where we dey. How many times where you dey when I dey protest here? So I come meet Sheyi and I won't die. Make him not die. Sheyi na good boy. Oh. I met the guy. He removed his cap. He made us up Isaac. He appreciated me as Obi come to greet me since I don dey campaign. We talk my Obi one day. As Obi come to say thank you. Now that you na send me work, you na go complain tire. If I like say I go start the campaign for Tinubu because you guys are not even worth it. You are there quiet. You wait for my own video to liberate you when you can liberate yourself. I love Tinubu with all my heart, and I love Tinubu. He's a good guy. As Obi-son come visit me, because I said they support Obi, I can withdraw my support. Nobody feed me. Everybody help man for himself, God for us. Can't cut your. Anyway, that was when he had enough. Empress, good to see you. So at this point, he had enough, and he just couldn't take it anymore. And so because he said that Peter Obi had not visited him, Peter Obi, the lion of Agulu, then decided that the next thing he had to do was to go visit Isaac Fayose. This is how it went down.
That's actually my president is on your house. Our incoming president. So shall we be in Jesus' name. For you others, when they are busy, you don't see that. And the 100% obedient. So you better be obedient. Let me tell you about this. Half of people when they are doing don't follow up. That was not a very dark man. What they do, when they hire people, they carry them all the months of men. We are together. People will tell you, we are winning. People will tell you one thing I take. Mama, please, I will tell you one thing I take is criticism. Because I never see I'm married with anybody for saying I did something wrong. So anytime we have any reason to criticize, and when we're not doing what is wrong, what is right, please, I want to hear that I'm wrong in 2 ways. Immediately, don't fail. It is important that we do that. A leader must listen, a leader must learn, and he must take mistakes. If
he doesn't, he shouldn't lead. He should just go because he knows everything. And if you know everything, you're an idiot. He shouldn't be leading. Elena, always.
Thank you so much.
We're called dry now. You're going to say our incoming president will you to be more Prince 7. You are a disaster. You'll not be a disaster, but man, people are bad mouth. So that was Peter Obi. He had to go visit his person. Now there is a clip I want to play before I now play what Obedient are saying about Peter Obi's visit to Peter Fayose. Before we play that, let's just listen to But Isaac explain what went down, so that way you'll be hearing from the horse's mouth, right? We're still going to serious news, so we're just, we just came back from a beautiful weekend, so why not start on a light note? Take a listen to this.
4 hours ago, my leader called me. Who is the leader? On my phone. Yeah. I saw his missed call. I said, Excellency. Yeah. I can't put Excellency for phone. Yeah. I put her for speaker. Excellency Isaac, sorry about your wife. Excellency Isaac, I'm in Lagos. I'm flying this night or tomorrow morning. I'll be in your house. And he commanded doctor, he called some people. Dr. Mo has called. Peter Obi, I love you.
You see, we don't know. Once again. So we don't get another one. Now, but people will believe say you swear for us. Say you know to tell us story. I
never swear for anybody. My brother used to be governor when Tinubu was governor. Tinubu's family, they are my family friend. I will not lie. I love them. But Nigeria belongs to Nigeria. And they are saying enough is enough. It's time to change our dream. I will never be with people that Nigeria don't want. I'm not a disappointee. Post it. I know they mess up. I'm obedient. Even if I don't see Obi, I go still do Obi.
Well, he saw Obi, which is actually something really cool. And we played that.
That's actually my
So, they met, called him incoming. I mean, I think he's already president on social media. It doesn't have to be incoming anything. He's fine. Olori said that she's. I think she feels. Let me see what she wrote here. I saw something earlier. Say it's so irritating. She feels or she felt irritated. Don't worry. We're going to something more serious later. I just wanted to start this way. The funny thing is this politics? Like, is this how it is? You don't even have enough. Let me not criticize him. But this is not, you cannot become president like this. So, Bakwata become chairman of local government. Anyway, Obedient apparently, and not all of them are very happy with Peter Obi's move. And one of them went to town and said that Peter Obi is a boy. I would not have said that, but since they are in the same caucus, maybe there's something to hear from that. Take a listen to this.
Peter Obi is a joke. Peter Obi, you are a joke and you are a disappointment. Peter Obi, you are a disappointment. Jesus. So they don't useless Obi like this. So they don't useless Obi like this. Isaac, when he had no correct. Isaac, when he had no correct, when he ratted. Then someone Obi come the house. Obi small. Obi small. Now be your small like this. I shame God. I shame. Isaac, when they talk my best way, he had no correct. Then someone Obi like this. If you are still supporting Obi, I am disappointed in you. So because of Isaac just threatening Obi just fly from Lagos to Abuja.
Son of Abraham.
Who is Isaac Fayose?
Oh, okay.
Obi and not fall. Oh, the trash don't come on. The 2023 wave don't go. Oh, Obi is now working with small children. Obi is really a boy. According to Tinubu, Obi is a boy. They don't go you where. Say, make you be revolutionary, say, because you will never call you, come black bitch to where like this. They don't go you where. They don't go you where. Say, she will never go submit like this. Consider like slave. You can't try this to Obaseki. You can't try it to Shogure. Obi will be bad. Obi they use that do business, not use that trade. They use that to collect campaign donations from billionaires and rich Igbo men. Super boy, Isaac Fayose don't know himself. That's Super Obi.
Thank you.
All right. Apparently, some of them are angry. I don't think he's a boy. I think he's a he's a man. Lawale Lori on Facebook says, now our social media president be this, so we no get that nor that one. Our social media president be this, so we're done. See composer. Anyway, that's Peter Obi and his obedient group. That happened in Nigeria. Let's talk about what happened outside Nigeria. You know, last week we're talking about this European Council on Foreign Relations. That was like a meeting held, and in Europe, I think it was in Germany. And Peter Obi was there. A lot of photoshopping went into that, whatever he posted, which makes absolutely no sense. But I don't know why he did that. But story for another day. Anyway, while there, he had a conversation with some of the people there, and he claimed that he won the last election, something he did not say when he went to court. So let's get into this. And then, of course, he was corrected by the European. It's quite funny that it had to take a foreigner to tell him, what really happened. Take a listen to this exchange. Peter Obi.
Election yourself, and and how are you now going to respond with this election?
It's an election. I don't like discussing because I won that election and it was rigged. But that's no problem.
So maybe talk us through on how how can the next election, in your view, be how can you break through?
It is my belief that the next election is between the Nigerian people and the government in office. People here might not understand, but I can tell you.
Yeah.
The next election is going to be between Nigerian people and people in office, because the Nigerian public probably has had enough. And they are determined that things has to change. And that will come out when we campaign, because we've sacrificed everything, and it's not working. And it is time to understand this. One thing is leadership.
Okay. In the last election,
We're going to come back to this later, because I'm not going to listen to everything. Most of what he said is absolute nonsense. I mean, no apologies. When you hear something, you're saying that you won. Did you hear him say that? He said, I won the last election, but it was rigged. Meanwhile, okay, let's start with that one. I want to show you something from this day. Okay? This is a cover. This was July 27 July 2023. I want to show you the cover and what Peter Obi said at the time. Look. Tinubu won, but disqualify him and set a rerun between Atiku and I, Peter Obi. That was 2023. The man traveled rivers and oceans, and somehow the lies they've been lying to themselves, the nonsense they've been telling themselves in that coven, I think they somehow believe it at some point. Shall believe in the right things. Because if you lie to yourself, after a while, you begin to believe that the lie is the truth. He actually went out and uttered that statement that he won, it was rigged. He literally said Tinubu won, but he wanted Tinubu to be disqualified so that the court, there will be a rerun between himself and Atiku. That's what they said in 2023. I'm going to read you the report later, but let's listen to a clip. He said that the next election is going to be between Nigerians and the government. I want to play you something from the Nigerian people that Peter Obi mentioned. You may not hear what they're saying because it's in Hausa, but I want you to hear it. Then you may not understand what they're saying, but I want you to hear it. I'll explain what they are saying later. Take a listen to this. And if you're a Hausa person here, you will definitely understand. 1 second. Now, so it's not coming up on this device. I'm going to play it here. That's a woman in Taraba State. She said, whether there's money or not, we will still vote for Jagaban. The Nigerian people are not going to vote for a joke, because at this point, it looks like all this thing about going on social media and just talking and trying to be the center of attraction is just a joke, which is why the only thing they might be expecting from this run, this media run, may not be anything more than, popularity. You can't win like this. This is not how people win, is it? All right. So if you're saying that Tinubu won in 2023, how is it that in 2026 you are saying you won but it was rigged? Meanwhile, when you won in Lagos, was that one also rigged? In other words, everywhere you lose, now rigging. Everywhere you win, now you win them. In the Southeast, when you got 93%, 93% in some states, about 90% in other states, aggregate about 87%, almost 90%, right, aggregate across all the 5 states of Southeast. Was that rigged? Just a joker. And that's why, again, let me say it for the umpteenth time, if you're a Yoruba person, you're supposed to be, please, go for prayers. You need it, because you need help. There's nothing that is even in any way. I'm seeing if I can find you that stuff. I want to find you that news report so I can read it to you. Okay. It's going to take me a while, but we don't have that time. I don't want to keep you waiting. But that's the headline. So you can find the report from this day, July 20, what's that? 2023, right? Having said that, let us go on to another story away from Peter Obi, because Peter Obi, to be honest, I understand what Lori was saying. Some of these things can be depressing. So why do we talk about it? Because we want to be informed. And also because we know that there are Yoruba people sometimes who come around here and who may not understand, that they are following. They just jumped on a bandwagon, and the funny thing is the bandwagon doesn't have engine. It's just going downhill. Was a break. Anyway, take a listen to Peter Obi. By the way, he was on an interview with Frank Gaffney on Securing America on Real America's Voice. And this is what Peter Obi had to say. Take a listen.
Free, fair, in days of election, we need to have free, fair, and credible election that will allow us to elect competent leadership with capacity, compassion, commitment, and characters that are required in government.
Because you need that. If we have government that have capacity today, it will be the other way around, because there's so many other things happening in Nigeria. It's not just insecurity that is our problem. We have problem where there are huge number of people living in poverty, huge number of youth unemployment.
Huge.
So you need to have a government that is going to fight the corruption that exists today in the country, be able to use the resources of the country to invest in productivity that will unleash growth and be able to create jobs for these young people. You need to invest in education. You need to invest in health of the people. So there's other critical areas that if we have support of countries globally, we can start changing.
How do you, as a person who intends to become the president of a nation, go everywhere across the globe, and the only thing you can say about the nation you intend to lead is what is not working in that nation? Number one, the world thinks you're a joke, because it tells us that you are not thinking of leading that place. You just have an ambition which will never be fulfilled. And I'm not cursing him. I'm just saying, because you can't be trusted with the leadership of that place, because you don't even believe anything about that place. Have you ever seen him say that there's something here, we will do this, we will do that? And I'm talking about coherent, sensible policies, not just, talking rubbish. You just go everywhere talking about the problems that Nigeria has, and you want to lead the nation. There's nothing inspiring about this guy. Very depressing. We have to find something else to listen to. By the way, I'm not the only one who says he can never become anything. There's another person who said he will not, and that one probably has more weight because they know what they did together. Take a listen to them, and you will understand when I play this stuff. I mean, I think he has a better understanding of whatever it is. If it's not demo, take a listen.
Like at that time, and I still repeat it, unless Peter will be my brother returns to Africa, he will not achieve anything politically. I'm repeating it. Why? Isaiah 55:11. My word cannot go out and return void without fulfilling the purpose of which it was sent. The word has gone forth now. It can never return until it has fulfilled that purpose. He knows, because he took a vow that he will never leave Abuja. That any day he leaves Abuja, let his family die. Everybody in his family die. He said it now. But he still left Abuja, thinking that leaving Abuja will die. Has Abuja died? Everything about us is in the hands of God. Psalm 139:15. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I had already known you.
I think it's hanging.
139:15. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I had already known you.
Okay, I think that's where it stops.
But be very careful how you swear.
1 second.
For how you swear. The Bible says we should not swear, even with our heads, because we cannot produce a strand of hair on our heads. Why did he make such a vow? He left Abuja and joined PDP. He was vice president of Atiku. Now he's going for presidency. It will be a catastrophic case of that. It will not work.
Of course, we've had the clip where he actually made that promise, said he would never leave Abuja. So I think he should be talking to his Abuja people if he wants to become. He can't even become president of Nigeria. No. Imagine you have a president who I've never seen it, whether it's in Indonesia or he's always talking about Bangladesh, Egypt. how can you go out and want to talk about your family? Let's even stop this thing for a second. How can you go out and want to talk about your family with outsiders, and the only thing you say about your family are the things that are terrible about your family? You're supposed to be a leader in that family. You are a shame. You are a joke. I mean, it's a level of respect that you're supposed to try to, I don't know, something you bring to the table that makes people actually respect you. You get what I mean? Like, there's a way you talk, there's a way you present yourself, and where you're from. Because you're talking to outsiders, we have insecurity, we have this. The countries you are talking to, do they not have problems they are facing? Is America not having all these school shootings everywhere, every time? Then of course, they drive by as well. Don't they have those issues in America? Do you see the president of America coming and say, hey, I want to tell you about the United States. We're always shooting ourselves in the US, so that's a major problem. We just need the help of people to come and help. What kind of rubbish is this? Just people need to come to the US, come and help us because, there is drive-by, always having drive-by. And you see, if you look at our statistics is going on. If you look at our statistics, the schools that they've experienced shootouts this year, they're not tell you all that problem. They're not tell you what is happening to them, the economy. They're not talk to you. By the time they are done, who in America will say, God bless America? That is why his members, his followers can never say anything good about Nigeria, because everything they hear is what's not working. Are there things that are not working in Nigeria? Yes. Are there things that are working? Yes. And if anybody has sense and you want to have, what do they call this thing? Mental health. If your mental health wants to be okay in this country, you better feed your mind with good things as well. As a matter of fact, feed your mind with good things. You know the bad things, but don't feed your mind with those things. You know there are challenges. Nobody's everywhere is perfect. Where in the world is perfect, by the way? Ogbolumoja says, we got a mass shooting overnight yesterday, 9 people toxin. Imagine you want to become president. Now, it's one thing to say it to your people, which is even dumb, because if the only thing you are saying to your people is bad news, it means that you are a bearer of bad reports. You are not a leader. That's one. Number 2, you now had the chance, every single time you had the chance to talk to the outside world about your country, you only talk about the mass shooting. It's ridiculous. I'm saying I spent time to do this because I know that young people who listen to all these things. I'm telling you, you cannot be supporting somebody like this. That's why I say you can support anybody else. You don't have to support Tinubu. I like Tinubu, clearly. But if you like, what is making you support somebody who is there's nothing inspiring, just talking. And when he's done, you look around, there's nothing that makes you feel like something can be done in Nigeria. You just feel like, oh, everywhere is just so bad. Until he becomes president, nothing can work. Meanwhile, I'm wondering, what did you do when you were governor of Anambra State? What have you... His contemporaries, he wasn't anywhere near them. Making look as if he has not done... It is well. Anyway, let's move away from this depressing news to something a bit cheerful. The Nigerian Bar Association recently conducted an election, and now they have their 33rd president of the NBA, who is Oyinkansola Badejo Kusonya, SAN. Some people were saying on social media, oh, she's the first. She's not the first. The first woman was Priscilla Kuye, and she was president from 1991 to 1992. Right. So Oyinkansola Badejo Kusonya is the second female president of the NBA and the 33rd president of the NBA. She was on Arise News with Dr. Abati, and they talked about, what the focus of our presidency would be. I'd like you to listen to this. Right. 1 second, please. Please take a listen.
Do you think that all of that ahead of your, election had anything to do with gender, or is just how, lawyers run their own affairs? Even when the NBA projects itself as a voice of reason when other people are organizing elections, particularly ahead of the 2027 general election? Gender or the way of lawyers to just argue about anything possible?
No, we don't just argue about anything possible. And gender, I wouldn't say that gender was on the front burner of whatever has gone before. But, you know, like I always tell people, there's a reason why the rearview mirror is much smaller than the windscreen. Because, you know, it's easy for me sitting here now, having won and won decisively, because I had over about 4,000 votes more than my closest competitor. So I would call that a decisive win. I'm proud of that. And I want to look forward. Even if gender was a factor, where we're heading to in an association whose members reflect the diversity of gender, men and women, and some even argue that we have more women than men. In a profession like that, we want to get to the point where gender is no longer part of the conversation, where, you know, all that we see is capacity. And I deliberately ran my campaign on that score, not on gender, but on capacity. I wanted people to see a capable woman, not ashamed of being a woman, very proud of being a woman, but I want people to see a capable lawyer, first of all. And that's where I'd like us to go. To be honest with you, easy for me now to forget all the intrigues and the issues that led up to the elections. We're here now. And it's now time to rebuild the association, to start the most ardent supporters and my most strident critics. I'll be president to them all. And I hope to have the graciousness to be just that and move the association forward. We need to move the needle. And that's what I intend to do.
All right, that was Barrister Badejo Kusanya. Just a little bit about her. Very quickly. So she said, you know, she talked about how the numbers she had over the next competitor. She secured 12,317 votes. That's 47.18%. And the other candidates had the following: Latif Omoyemi Akongbe is also a SAN, had 7,934 votes. That's 30.39%. And Olumuyiwa Akimboro, who is also a SAN, had 5,855 votes, which was 22.43%. So she's correct. She had 12,317. The next person had 7,934. So it's actually more than 4,000. The gap, you know, they had between them. But a little about her. She is a founding partner at Africa Law Practice NG and Company. She co-heads the litigation and dispute resolution practice. She became SAN in September 2025. She has served as senior special assistant on justice sector reform to the Lagos State Governor in 2007, where she worked on judicial administration reforms. She holds degrees in English and law from the University of Lagos and an LLM in commercial and corporate law from Queen Mary University of London. She will be serving a 2-year tenure from 2026 to 2028. Right? It's quite interesting. People have also been bringing up her family members. The current Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Jumoke Oduwole, is actually her sister, and their father was the late Professor Olufolabi Olumide, who was a general surgeon and the first Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University. Their mother was a university administrator who was also the first female registrar of the University of Lagos, UNILAG. So, brilliant family. Happy for her, and I hope that the law profession, you know, goes to greater heights. That's serious stuff. Let's go back to something else now. I think it's still serious, but it is what it is. We'll bring people up very soon, and then hopefully we'll get to history at some point or reaction. Before we do all of those things, let me play you something from a gentleman who thinks that Nnamdi, her husband, I don't know her husband, but let me check. I didn't check. 1 second. I think her husband is also a public figure, but let me check that. So her husband is a public relations professionals. Sorry, public relations professional. His name is Yomi Badejo Okusonya. Right. So that's the much I know about. That's what I just found out now. So here's this. No, before we go to that one, let's talk about what happened in court earlier today. So we've been discussing older local government issue, the children that were abducted by terrorists, connected to the Ansaru guys, connected to Al Qaeda, and the fact that they were, charged to court, where there's news from the court. First, let me read you a report from leadership, then I will have you listen to how it went down in the court earlier today. Leadership newspaper captured Ansaru leaders plead guilty to 32 terrorism charges. Two suspected senior commanders of the Ansaru terrorist group on Monday pleaded guilty to a 32-count terrorism charge before the Federal High Court in Abuja after months of contesting the case. The defendants Mahmoud Usman, also known as Abu Bara, Abbas, and Mukhtar, whom the prosecution identified as the self-styled emir of Ansaru, and Abubakar Abba, also known as Mahmoud al-Najiri, and Amalam Mahmouda, alleged to be the group's deputy leader and chief of staff, changed their pleas before Justice Emeka Nwite. Their lawyer, Baladakum, told the court that after consulting with the defendants, they had decided to withdraw their earlier not guilty pleas and admit the charges. After consultation with the defendants, my lord, Dakum said, and I quote, after consultation with the defendants, my lord, they have agreed and are ready to change their plea. We apply that the charge be read to them accordingly. Counsel to the Department of State Services, DSS, David Kaswe, did not oppose the application and urged the court to allow the 32-count charge to be read again. The court granted the request, after which both defendants pleaded guilty to all 32 counts. The suspects were first arraigned before the Federal High Court in Abuja on September 11, 2025, on charges bordering on terrorism, terrorism financing, kidnapping for ransom, illegal mining, financing terrorism, manufacturing improvised explosive devices, IEDs, and other related offenses. The prosecution also alleged that the pair coordinated sleeper cells, orchestrated terrorist attacks, and maintained links with Al Qaeda affiliated groups operating across the Sahel and Maghreb regions. This story is long, but I'll just go to the last part of this news. At the previous hearing on July 9, Abba informed the court that he wished to reconsider his not guilty plea, prompting Justice Wunte to adjourn the matter until Monday. On Monday, that's today, both defendants formally changed their pleas and admitted to all the charges against them. The arrest of the two suspects were announced by the National Security Advisor, No Ribadu, in August 2025. He said they were apprehended during a high-risk intelligence multi-agency operation conducted between May and July 2025. Ribadu described the arrest as a major breakthrough in the fight against Ansaru, an Al Qaeda-affiliated terrorist group linked to several attacks and kidnappings across Nigeria. By the way, Usman was convicted and sentenced to 15 years imprisonment on that count. He pleaded not guilty to the remaining 31 charges. Abba, who pleaded, let me play the video. I'll tell you the remaining story later. But the point is that these people are also the same group. Town or told also a local government, not the kidnap Ahomo. They're also connected to them. They're affiliated. In fact, they are the ones who were asking for the issue release. All right. But we're glad that this has come to a close now. I'm going to play you this, and then I'll tell you more about it later. Take a listen. one of the good things I like about this whole thing, Sha, is that as they are catching them like this, enjoy one danger sharp sharp, one all right. So all we have here is not really, the judge saying anything, but again, they have been convicted. So we're going to wait for the judgment. Hopefully that will come later. All right. While that's happening in the courtroom, something quite interesting also happened in Abuja, where the Commissioner of Police, FCT Abuja, CP Ahmed Sanusi, talked about how officers of Nigerian Police Force, for some weird reasons, decided to extort the chairman of the ICPC. This country is blessed, but some things just don't make sense. Well, let's take a listen to the Commissioner of Police, FCT Abuja, CP Ahmed Sanusi.
And in the similar vein, we have about 4 policemen in custody as we speak, who tried, not just tried, but successfully extorted somebody of high importance, unknown to them, that this person is a highly placed person in the society. In fact, in clear terms, they extorted, mark my words, extorted the chairman ICPC. Yes, they extorted the chairman ICPC. Where are the policemen? They said, when they finish trying them, we will bring them here. So that you can see the teams. I made it clear here that you have to choose to be one, either to be a policeman or to be a thief. You cannot be the two at the same time. So you choose one. If you refuse to choose, your actions will tell us where you are, that you are a policeman or you are a thief. So this was, they are thieves. They started him 53,000 naira. The man followed them gently. He asked somebody to send the money to him. He said they took him to POS. Yes. And then he made charges for the POS. They reviewed the money and shared the money among themselves. And do you know that that was not even their duty post? They are a gang of criminals. Left from various divisions, come closer together, and moved to Wuse Palace, and then created a checkpoint there, and the perpetrators are around. We declared them wanted, arrested their gang leader. You know, say things don't get right. If you don't arrest her, it will be done by the police. The guy started counting, okay, this one there, this one there, this one, we simply all of them, not all of them. We are going to make sure we are severely punished. Those that are to be dismissed will be definitely dismissed.
One of the things that you learn very quickly, maybe those guys just got to Abuja, one of the things you learn very quickly living in Abuja is that you don't know who is who. Abuja, that's a lesson just about everybody learns very quickly. Even in cabs, even in taxis, forget Uber. And of course, we got there long before Uber. Even we enter taxi along, that's what we call taxis in Abuja. So we are taking along. You don't know who is in the car. So you're very careful how you talk to people or who you're talking to, because maybe something happened and you found them. Now, here's the point. How do you stop a person? Maybe we'll say Banex. Okay, if you don't know Abuja, I may just be sounding like Sha, it's a popular place in Abuja. you now be extorting people. You now go extort ICPC chairman. I'm sure by now they know that what you going, because this I think it serves them right as well, because apparently they've been doing it. And I hope that the Nigerian police will do this for more people, not because they are powerful or because they are chairman of ICPC, but because they are ordinary citizens who should not be extorted, by the police. Police should be our friends, serving us, not extorting. All right. Anyway, that's that about the police. Another news that Tofe Joe is of a group of people who are vandals who were, arrested and paraded by the Nigerian police. And then you had some people, I don't know if they are OAPs or just commentators. And this is what, you're going to know the person's voice. It's irritating, but I think we should just listen to it for the sake of knowing what's in this up. Take a listen to this.
Arresting people for vandalizing whatever is not the problem. How many of your political leaders have you arrested for vandalizing our properties, our money? How many of them have you arrested for looting our treasury? You are arresting these people. You are forgetting that you don't care for them, so they are looking for what to eat. That is a sign of poverty in your country.
Barrister, looking for what to eat does not.
Hold on.
Then going to vandalize property.
Hold on. Your leader have vandalized our treasury. David, who arrested them? As I'm talking to you now, 210 million naira is missing from NNPC, and nobody is accounting for it. Who stole that money? David, who stole that money? Who has been arrested? Because you see, people, helpless people that they don't have a voice. They vandalize property. They vandalize it. That money could be used to take care of those people. Give them a better life. That money could be used to better Nigeria so that we will not have such occurrences. The people that vandalize those, is it not to sell it and then have money in their pocket to eat? Is that not what they did? Are they going to eat it? No. When you see things like this, go and check yourself.
But that's also a crime. That's also a crime.
Look, yes, you made them. I told you here that the society prepares the crime and then the criminal commits it. David, do they vandalize property in America? Tell me. Do they vandalize things like that in UK, in Canada? Please answer me. Okay. Do they loot that kind of money anywhere in the Western world? That's 210 trillion naira missing from one government institution, and nobody is talking about, nobody is accounting for it. Now that the man at the NNPC told us that the money must be misplaced. You misplaced that kind of money. And nobody has rendered account of what happened. And you are blaming people. If the people if they had 3 square meters, if they had means of livelihood, will they be looking for something to vandalize? No, tell me that in America, that's what they do. They vandalize a national asset and all that. Nobody will care for such things over there because the government have taken care of them. David, the government gave them welfare system. David, people are looking for 3 square meters a day. They can't find it. So you are going to arrest more. I see this or what do you call your name? You will arrest more. Until you start arresting those who looted our treasury. Arrest so that you balance the equation. You cannot arrest only those people because you see that they have no mouth, they can't talk. Well, nobody to fight for them. But the real people that are destroying national assets, you can't arrest them. David, you cannot arrest them. You and your government, you can't arrest them. So you want me to clap for you now? You have arrested people. Thank you. You have arrested people.
We're also not.
So I think one of the signs that a person is mentally underdeveloped is the fact that they lack the capacity to hold 2 opinions, especially if they're not contradictory. They can hold those two opinions at the same time and believe that 2 things can be right, and that the fact that one thing is right does not mean that the other is wrong. If you see a person who doesn't know how to juggle things like that, the person is mentally immature. All right. The crazy thing, though, is that people like this and the rest of the ilk are able to hold two contradictory thoughts in their minds at the same time. For instance, they are superior to everybody, but they're also the victim of everybody. They can believe that one. But they can look at two things and say, okay, this one is right. That also doesn't cancel the other one. They are incapable of doing that. And it shows how mentally mature they are. Now, having said that, is it good that people are looting Nigeria's money? No. But if the person who went to vandalize public property, if he had gone to his house, the person speaking right now, if he had gone to his house to steal, would he say what he's saying? You can steal because people are looting in Abuja, so the person can steal in your house. Would you not call on the police? Would you not find a way to ensure that guy is arrested? Would you make excuses for the person who stole in your house, your own house? That's what all the Turenchi are saying on social media, on TV. Absolute nonsense. If you want to talk about those who are looting, it's a valid argument. You can talk about that, but that's not the conversation right now. The other day, they caught some people. They saw what people are doing on the railway tracks. They are removing boats. Kitchen, why derail? And we bury. No matter pay. Oh, Insana climbs. Nothing like this happens. They've taken care of everybody. Are there no homeless people in America? So the idea that, because everybody is not fine, because in America everybody is taken care of. If the welfare system is so effective, and it is effective to a large extent, but if it's 100% like he's trying to make us believe, how come you have homeless people all over the place in California? Just about every major city in the United States has homeless people. Why do you have that? Since everything abroad is perfect, everything at home is terrible. And I think people actually talk based on their own region, because where they're coming from is just is what it is. Because when they talk, they're always negative. So if somebody destroys something, the police should not catch him because, apparently the people who stole money, they've not caught those people. Can you not do those two things at the same time? Does catching this stop you from catching them? Can you not say, okay, as you've Entoba Lokbolo will say something like, this is good. You've caught these people who are vandalizing public property, national assets. Thank you for catching them. Thank you for parading them. Do what you have to do. However, we also like you to go after public officials who are stealing our money and making away with cutting away our money. Period. If you say that way, any same person will say, you will know that you're making sense. But when you say things like, why are they catching them? They're just looking for money to eat. Let them come and see your family house now. Since they're all looking for money to eat, they can steal what you have in your house because they're also looking for money to eat. Are you going to be happy with that? That tells you that even he himself is disconnected from the consciousness of, the fact that we all have this public property. If it was his private possession, he would not be talking like this. Someone said they did catch Malami and Nerufai. When they caught Malami, and Malami had to put out about over 210 billion naira last week, these same people were trying to find excuses, saying, it's because it's not in government. It's because they don't like it. They're always on the wrong side of history. It's crazy. And how does an ethnicity make itself into the opposition group and the opposition of everything good about Nigeria? How? Thank you. Olumiwa says they caught Emefiele. Yes. Malami, Emefiele. Last week it was this lady. Yes, they have to have this forfeiture. Was Achimugu. Juries and money and so on and so forth. They don't see anything good. If you do anything good, they will not see it. If you say anything bad, they will amplify it. It's a curse. By the way, somebody is calling himself Nigeria's politics on Facebook. You are not very smart, though. You said that you want to talk about progressive conversation, and you are telling me I'm spreading hate. You are very dull, though. Somebody has to tell you. Maybe they're not told you at home. Maybe you are the one feeding your family members. You're not thinking straight though. Because you ended your stuff by saying that everything that's happening shows you how dead the country has become. You are the one who is brain dead though. Who are you people? Why don't you see anything good about Nigeria? Are you cursed? How can you write me a treatise, like an epistle of rubbish? Everything is about Nigeria is not dead. Maybe your part of the country is dead. And if you need it to get up, talk to the man who raised Lazarus. I don't think you need it, Sha, because you don't think you cannot do what Martha and Mary did. Jeez. You guys are not very smart though. Just that people don't tell you. Because you're always, maybe you're the ones that feed the clowns that follow you. Rubbish. I don't want to have a conversation. So I would love to have a progressive conversation. You don't even know what progressive means. So don't send me, if you send me, well, you can send a message. I should read me on the day alone. Aren't you? You guys don't think. Let's come back to serious stuff, Jerry. Somebody says they hate Nigeria with passion, but still want to rule. They can never produce a president with this kind of crop of people. Maybe at some point, too, if you have someone like David Mai or maybe Soludo. And the funny thing is that the good ones that the rest of us can believe in are the ones they hate. How can you be like this? I mean, the good ones amongst them that will be like, okay. I mean, Soludo is not in APC. I'm not in APC, but he's not like he's in APC. Soludo is in APCA. Someone like me, I respect Soludo. Doesn't mean I'm going to vote for him. It depends on who he's contesting with, apparently. But as a person, I have respect for him. Not only because he was a fantastic CBN governor, but the way he carries himself and the things he says. And I know he has challenges in the states. Many states do, and I hope he fixes it and things get better. But I'm not going to bash him because it's from the southeast, just because it's from the southeast. But here's the crazy part. Any single person that the entire country likes from the southeast automatically becomes a saboteur to the rest of them. How do you intend to actually galvanize support if every other person likes, you hate? That's how they were calling Rochas Okoro Osa. Don't worry, continue. How many generations do you have to learn the lessons? God will give you grace. All of us will be here to see. Hopefully you will evolve, because this is lack of cultural evolution. How can you be like this? I'm reading somebody saying negative thing. You two are saying country is dead. The country is not dead. Nigeria is not dead. Nigeria is getting better. I know for those of us who see it that way, things are getting better for us. And it's not just about money, because you probably, maybe the last thing you just did before you wrote that nonsense, you just wrote something, your invoice, selling spare parts. But you have money, you have no peace of mind. Your mind is messed up. There's no joy. There's no peace. You're always hating people. You're always sick. Because there's nothing good that you see. Jeremiah, he says you will not see good when it comes. Because your mind, if you are Igbo here, may God help you. Why? Nigeria's challenges, lots of issues. But Abba, anybody that says something good about Nigeria is your enemy. You are cursed though, and I'm not the one cursing you. Your behavior is a product of curse. But may God remove that curse. May you be delivered. That's the only thing I can say. But sincerely, there's something fundamentally wrong. Anyway, let's move on. I'll read something from... Jeez, that guy just took me out of... Jesus Christ. And you are the ones that will call Nigeria a zoo. You are the one that will say they should burn down everywhere. You are still the one that wants to lead Nigeria. You are the ones that want to break Nigeria. You are the ones that want to start your phantom nation of clowns. One is going this way. You are facing here, but the rest of your body is looking the other way, and you want to make progress. And anybody that says something is because they hate you. Who are you that they want to hate? What is in the, what do you have that's even, what is it that makes you worthy of being hated? I mean, hating people is even stupid to start with, but what do you have that makes people hate you? Sarah reporters July 20, 2026, kill Nnamdi Kanu to restore peace to Southeast. Businessman tells Nigerian government. Entrepreneur Chigozie Nnabdi has sparked controversy after calling on the Nigerian government to execute the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, claiming that such a move would restore normalcy in the Southeast. By the way, let me pause to say this. I could have responded to this person in a different way. I could have told you why what you are writing doesn't make sense. But I know that you guys are not writing these things because you want to learn anything or you want to have a conversation. You're just looking for people to gaslight. And I don't have time, for your blackmail and your rubbish. So look for another strategy. It will still not work, by the way, but keep trying. Back to the news. Entrepreneur Chigozie Nnabdi has sparked controversy after calling on the Nigerian government to execute the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, claiming that such a move would restore normalcy in the Southeast. Nnabdi made the remarks during an appearance on News Central TV's Breakfast Extra program, monitored by Sarah reporters. According to him, insecurity in the Southeast has reduced significantly since the arrest of key separatist figures, arguing that Kanu's death would further, arguing that Kanu's death would further. I concur with that. Let me be sincere with you. The time they arrested Nnamdi Kanu, it was like up and down. The time they arrested Simon Ekpa, it reduced by 50%. The time Nnamdi Kanu was convicted, it reduced to about 10%. That's what we are battling now. He then urged the Nigerian government to kill the IPOB leader. He said, and I quote, "If Nnamdi Kanu is dead today, if the government of Nigeria will kill Nnamdi Kanu, trust me, normalcy will start coming." I don't think this is actually a good thing to say, but let me just read it. You will listen to him say it, by the way. You know what? Let's listen to him say it, because these things are too heavy. I don't think he should be killing people. It says kill him, as if he still has a right to appeal. I mean, he should go to appeal court. Right, you can't just say kill him. Even if you say kill, even if the court says that you are sentenced to death, all right, you still have a right to appeal that judgment. So I don't know why he's shouting kill him. 1 second. If you're on TikTok, please power tap. This thing is showing inactivity. Thank you very much for your support. Let's listen to Chigozie Nnabdi. Okay, let's take it. Listen to this, please.
Whether I have come to their camp or whatever that have come to the followers, the IPOB, the person, which led them to forming of ESN, the armed group. And personally to me, I question it that time, how can a single individual have the authority to form a security network? Because I know the security is the primary work of every government, constituted government, and this is unconstituted government. Now he formed it. We all know what happened in as the breaking of the police stations and jail, the looting of the arms. That was what gave them the killing of the police on duties and armies on duties, collecting their arms. Finally, it boiled down to my community because we have a very topography land system in my place, called Amanda Valley. It's a vast land. And if you hear the history of Biafra War, that place saved a lot of Igbos. Also as a local government, or see it too as a community, saved so many souls of Igbos. Because people have to run to that place. It's about, if I'm making mistakes, it's about 10-story building down from the surface. So the trees and everything will allow you to know that under is very habitable. So when the plane of the armies in Biafra war passes, the people hide under, they will not know. So it saved them. So these people picked that scenario their first camp. And that first camp was dated 2017. It's even on air. Some of us who were in the village that time testify even to the coming in person of Nnamdi Kanu. And it was dated August 17, 2017, when you officially opened that camp for them. So from there, they started training all their military, their whatever they call themselves. And to us, average Igbo man, I don't know how Nnamdi Kanu, whatever power or magic he used to brainwash Igbos. I watched my educated Igbos being swept away. I watched clergymen, bishops. Igbo now have respect for Catholic bishops. I watched Catholic bishops being swept away. We have a lot of professors in Igbo land. Swept away. Educated people.
One second, please.
But yes, I concur with her. Let me be sincere with you. That's the last level we want to talk about now. The only way to return full normalcy, I'm saying it on air, if you watch the system the whole thing is going, the time they arrested Nnamdi Kanu, it was like up and down, up and down. The time they arrested Simeon Ekpa, it came to 50%. The time that Nnamdi Kanu was convicted, it reduced to 10%. That's what we are battling now. Put it on air. If Nnamdi Kanu is there today, the government of Nigeria will kill Nnamdi Kanu. Trust me, normalcy will start coming. And that's all what every Igbo man prays for. Now again, for you to concur to what he's saying, government cannot do it all. And that's why I'm agitating again. If we know where our problem is coming, we can find the solution. Our problem is simply coming from the brainwash, the hate speech. I want all these organizations in Nigeria that have say, the Catholic bishops, the Pentecostal pastors, the educated ones, let us come on air and educate our people the consequences of what we are doing. That is the only way they will shift. Military are not the Holy Spirit that is everywhere. Right. See, today, bombs still kill people in my community. Have the military not done a lot to extradite the mines in the land? They have done a lot, but they replant again. You know what I'm saying? So the only means for us to get this thing done is let every Igbo man know the truth and stand by the truth.
Personally, I don't agree with the fact that that the government should kill Nnamdi Kanu. Just like that. We are not barbarians. We're civilized people, aren't we? So you can't just go around killing people because, they have done this. No. Because it doesn't make you different from the person you're talking about. If the person has been killing people and fomenting trouble, and your own way, after you've arrested the person, you've gone through court process, he's in prison, you're not going to kill him because you want to. I don't support it. I think I don't support either of them. I don't support Nnamdi Kanu, but I think it's important to also be objective in matters like this. But again, I'm not Igbo, so I don't know how they feel. Maybe it's that feeling that is making him talk the way he's talking, and for that I can't tell. But I still think that we have to be very measured when it comes to human life. It's human life, even if you don't like him. That because if a person dies, he's gone. The person is dead. That means like there's no coming back. So one second, please. Yeah, so I was saying, I may not like why is Peter Obi's name coming to my mouth? I may not like Nnamdi Kanu, but I don't think saying that they should kill him in order to bring normalcy, I don't think that's the right path. I think that he should have his day in court, and if not for the rundown that he is also doing, by now they would have gone to appeal court. But they were telling you, say one lawyer, lawyer. There's another one. This what's his name? Maxwell Okpara. When I used to go to Sokoto and say, "Come here, stop it." The one I was talking to anyhow in the courtroom. You know, I hope he has his day in court. And but again, like I said, I'm not talking from his perspective because I don't understand what they are going through. So maybe it's the desperation, but I also think that we can't, go that route. A few more things before I bring people up. A man from the southeast. One of the people I said is actually one man from the southeast, amongst others, that people will most likely feel attracted to is David Umahi, the Minister of Works, and he was talking to newsmen recently where he talked about the fact that the kind of opposition the southeast is playing cannot really do much for that region, or is not doing much for the region. We also went ahead to explain things that are being done by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the southeast. Please take a listen to Engineer Dave Umahi.
That opposition has brought to the people of Southeast, or what the unguided opposition has brought to the people of Southeast. I think that if you are claiming to be, a personality from a place, you have to think about the welfare of the people, the progress of the place, and that should be, paramount more than their own personal interests. And there are some people that will be this president, they won't even have the audacity to do anything about it, or to be fair to all sections of the country. So President Bola Ahmed is very fair, and I'm deeply very, very grateful and thankful to God that is the works of the president's hands rotted through my hands, that the people of Southeast are properly and totally and fully integrated in the affairs of this nation. We remain very grateful to the president. And when people darken council without knowledge, they should count their blessings. Enugu has been there. Even my brother is executive to be was there. 7 hours, you are never there from Enugu. I saw what the solution, the progressive are working together. A good governor of Anambra State list. I said, where were we? How were we voting with that kind of rules? But today, you see a concrete express route. You see, the solar light. You see tree planting. It's just like the travel of a woman when she was pregnant. You say, when I finish this, I will not do any other work. But the moment the birth is given, you forget the past. We cannot forget our past in a hurry. Somebody that has lifted us up. Is it Enugu Port Harcourt we're talking about? Is it Enugu Abakaliki? Is it Afikpo to Uturu in Abia State to Okiwe? Is it the Ndibe Bridge? Is it the Trans-Sahara Route? Time will fail me to say all the great and mighty things that the president. Is it the second Niger Bridge bypass? 17.5 kilometers, 174 billion. Is it the Owerri Onitsha road that the president is doing? Is it the Umuahia, to Ikote-Ipene road? Is it Abati Ikote-Ipene road that the president is doing? So time will fail me to say, the great things. The Oferepe road and the Oferepe bridge crossing to, is it the Ishago to my own town?
All right. That was the Minister of Works, David Umahi, Engineer David Umahi, talking about some of the projects going on in the Southeast. One of the things I like about the president, and you don't have to like him, but I like this about him, that regardless of the fact that certain people see nothing good about in the nation or in whatever he's doing, he still does what he's supposed to do as the president of all, which is very, very important, right? People don't have to support you to enjoy some of the benefits of they may not get as much, but even this one is just giving them because he has a big heart. Not sure he's going to get much from it anyway, but it is what it is. So that's that from the Minister of Works talking about the fact that the opposition way that they play cannot even help, but the president is constructing roads, building bridges, and so on and so forth. The last thing I want you to listen to has to do with the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. I mean, there is news out now that they're going to reconstruct the road using concrete and all that, but that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is a woman who is in the National Assembly, representing a constituency in Oyo State, right? Her name is Honorable Tolulope Akonde Shadipe, and she pushed for the construction of pedestrian bridges on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, particularly in areas where you have a lot of, residential communities. So that has become, it's going to happen now, by the way. But I want you to take a listen to the Honorable when she was making this case on the floor of the National Assembly in 2023. Take a listen, please.
In Oyo State. This motion is in Oyo State.
Okay, good.
Honorable Tolulope Akonde Shadipe, representing Oluyole Federal Constituency in Oyo State. This motion is on the need to construct pedestrian bridges along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The House notes that Nigeria's population growth and economic development require improved transportation infrastructure, which can only be achieved through investments in roads, railways, aviation, shipping, and inland waterways. Aware that in 1960, Ibadan, Oyo State was known as the largest city in West Africa, and by 2022, United Nations data, it has become the third largest city in the world. The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway goes through the two most highly populated sections of the city. Observes that there's an unavoidable need to cross the highway to access schools, homes, workplaces, and markets. This undervalues the safety of pedestrians and drivers, as there's a daily high rate of fatal accidents recorded. Hence, there's an urgent need for the construction of pedestrian bridges, which is currently non.
All right, so
How can we?
in parts of Ibadan, I know this because we are going into Ibadan, from Lagos, places around Soka, on Academy, and so on and so forth. It's still part of Lagos Expressway. No. But look, maybe toll gates. I'm trying to remember the place now. Let me put it around those places. Thank you very much for the gift, Tidan. Thanks a lot. Let me put it around those places, and there's no way for them to cross. So she put out that she made this case in 2023, and now the Federal Ministry of Works is going to be constructing bridges, pedestrian bridges in different parts of that road. But they're going to be constructing, bridges at Arepo, Magboro, and other places, hopefully in our own part of the country as well, such as Soka, Boluwaji, and so on and so forth. In fact, let me just read the full stuff to you. Let me read the news report, and then we'll bring people up. So if you want to come up, please.
9 million naira, you can own 1 hectare of land with 160.
You're long. 1 second. I'm going to play you a clip from TVC News on this matter, and then I'll bring people up. If you want to contribute to any of the things we've talked about, please send your request now, and then we'll bring you up. Thank you so much for the gifts, Tidan. God bless you. All right, here's the report. Take a listen, please.
For years now, residents and communities along the Section 2 of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway have faced the risk of crossing one of Nigeria's business highways due to the lack of pedestrian bridges. Frequent accidents and loss of lives have heightened calls for intervention. Now, hope is on the horizon as the construction of 5 pedestrian bridges begins along the corridor, a project aimed at improving safety and protecting lives. Olaide Uiwole has more in this report.
Section 2 of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway covers 84-kilometer stretch from the Shagamu interchange to the Ojo area of Ibadan. Despite its strategic importance as one of Nigeria's busiest highways, the corridor has become a death trap for many residents who attempt to cross the road due to the absence of pedestrian bridges, particularly around Soka, Sonyo, Eleruku, Semimbio, and other bus stops along the axis. During an on-the-spot assessment of ongoing pedestrian bridge projects being facilitated by the lawmaker representing Oluyole Federal Constituency, Tolulope Akande Sadipe, residents lamented the frequent loss of lives on the highway, describing the situation as increasingly unbearable.
I think in less than a month, there are like 5 or 6 times of a fatal accident at Soka. So for them to bring this kind of thing to the Soka is a very great player.
The project manager disclosed that the initiative involves the construction of 5 pedestrian bridges along the axis over a 2-year period.
No, for each one, I can't say precisely. However, for the 5 we are doing, it's going to last with some other projects, some other works, like the ramps that goes to some of the interchanges. We're also constructing them. They're also ongoing right now. It will last for the period of just 2 years. It's a 2-year program.
For the lawmaker representing Oluyole Federal Constituency, the decision to facilitate the project was driven by the need to safeguard lives rather than any political consideration.
Following a motion I sponsored on the floor of the House. And the places where we requested was Technical University, Tollgate, Felele, Soka, Sonyo, Boluwaji Ibadan, Academy, Eleruku. Then, because I am not responsible for those other local governments, but I am responsible for lives of every indigenous of your state, I also added 2 bridges between Muslim Ala-Osogbo Ibadan. 2 bridges between Ala-Osogbo and Oremeji bridges. That is not my local government.
Residents are hopeful that the completion of the pedestrian bridges will significantly reduce accidents and save lives along one of the country's busiest highways. Olajuwole, TVC News, Ibadan.
All right, so I'm going to end on that positive note. If we have more time, I'll play a few clips from people who seem to understand, what indigeneity means in other parts of Nigeria, but not in Yoruba land. We'll do that if we have more time. But let's listen to some people share their thoughts. Good evening. Who is August 17? Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. August 17, you want to share? Okay, let's have her, and then maybe we'll just move on to other stuff. Okay, I think maybe our network is bad or something. Let's just have those clips, and then we'll call it a day. So I was talking about certain people who tend to understand the concept. I'll bring you up very soon, Bumblebee. Who tend to understand the concept of indigeneity elsewhere, but not in Yoruba land. Let's quickly listen to a couple of clips. 2 actually, 3. But first, the man from Plateau State, who calls himself a Plateau man, but not an indigene. He's an Igbo man. Take a listen to this.
It shows love of what we do. Some of us are from here. We are not indigenous. We are black people. I'm a Plateau man, but not indigenous. I'm not answer Pam. I will answer Eze. Yes. I'm not indigenous. I'm Plateau man.
This is an Igbo man in Jos who is saying he's a Plateau man, but at least he says he's not indigenous, so apparently they understand how not to be indigenous in other people's places while looking for indigeneity in the Southwest. It's not going to work. There's a guy who did something about what some Igbo people are going through in their region, and I thought that, we could amplify what he's saying. Hopefully this also helps people. And then he also talked about Yoruba people. We just listen to both not that I agree with everything he's about to say, but I just thought that we should all listen to it, and then I'll bring Bumblebee up. Take a listen to this.
Ebonyi State is Igbo. Enugu State is Igbo. Anambra State is Igbo. Imo State is Igbo. And then Abia State is Igbo. But I have a question. Why is it that when Anambra persons speak, they will say, oh, where are you from? I'm from Anambra. Everybody will be like, oh, nice one. You're from Anambra. We said in Anambra. They will be so happy with that person and they want to know where the person comes from. When Abia State person talks, they say, oh, it's from Abia State. Wow, nice. Who said in Abia? You say, who this one and all. You say, wow, I have a friend there, this one and all that. When you meet somebody from Enugu State, you say, where are you from? You say, oh, I'm from Enugu State. You say, which side? You say, I'm from Osoka. You say, hey, yeah, Osoka people. Wow, nice one. I like these people, they are good. Osoka people, they know that lot of those ones and all that. They will feel so happy and all that. The same thing goes on to Imo State. They will still say, one thing will take him and all that. But then come down to Ebonyi State. Once somebody asks you, where are you from? And you tell the person, say, you are from Ebonyi State. Automatically, the first response will be, on Waba. This is what it goes, Waba. Oh, Waba Keleke. Yeah, Waba Keleke. On that Bakeleke or whatever. Another person gave me something. Another person gave me something that Waba Keleke. But question is, Nigerians, because this is not only for people. This thing goes on with Yorubas. It goes on with Northerners, and it goes on with Nigeria and Igbo in general. This is Nigeria in general. Once an Ebonyi State man talks, then you put on Waba, Zuzuru forever on Waba. Even a Yoruba person now, if he talks something on his phone, going to concern him, then they put a call and say, oh, Waba, Nene, Waba, Zuzuru forever on Waba. So what is the reason? Where is this discrimination and this inquiry and this Ebonyi State are coming from? What actually is the reason? Is Ebonyi State not Igbo? I want to know whether if Ebonyi State is a state in the north, or in Northerners that from the north they come migrate, come they live in Igbo land. I want to understand where this kind of Obionjo among Ndibo to Ndibo is coming from, and among the Nigerians and other tribes to Ebonyi State people. Every small thing, but every good thing that comes in comes from Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State has one of the most decent, respectful, and most obedient wife on this earth to find. But the same Ndibo the same Ebonyi State can call all the time. Why is it always Ebonyi State? Please, I will be at the comment section to know your own thoughts. Peace and love. Ebonyi State.
I'll be up here to know your thoughts. Peace and love. Bumblebee, good evening. I don't have answers to the question. I just wanted to play it. Evening, sir. Ẹkáàbọ.
To be honest,
yes, sir. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
No, you're breaking.
Is it better?
Yes.
Prof. Oh my. How about now? Is it better?
Yes.
It's better now, Abi?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So some of the nice people some of the Ebonyi people I've met some of the Ebonyi people I've met are actually very nice people. Met a few. Very nice people, down to earth, easygoing and all that. So maybe maybe there's some truth to it. But that's just by the way. My main contribution is going to be on the area of VAT. I'm happy that at least Lagos, Ibadan, Ogun, they are doing so well. Ondo State is doing so well in the area of VAT as well, right? And I appreciate that because we're doing that in spite of us not having oil. We are not mourning the fact that we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have seaports, we don't have oil and gas and all that, right? But is doing or your state rather, is doing so well, and we're so proud of them. For me, I just think it's a wake-up call. I think it's a wake-up call. Yes, we are doing well, but we shouldn't rest. We shouldn't just go and relax. We shouldn't go to bed because we could do so much better. And I think one of the things we need to do, thank God for the whole tax reform and everything, more resources are available. we should try in our own parts of the country to catch up with the Western world. We can bridge the gap, and that will be in the area of IT. That will be in the area of AI, using AI in learning, using AI in research, and really pushing for our own youth to catch up with the rest of the world. Yes, maybe infrastructure might play catch up, but the internet is there. We might just focus on world-class education, world-class academic, both at the primary, secondary, and university level, and then we'll be able to, do so much better with what we have. So for me, I also feel that maybe there's some fraud in what those other people are doing. Number one low, they could be committing fraud. Maybe they are not collecting the VAT as well, because maybe they are not so honest about it, or maybe, of course, maybe they are not so productive at the end of the day. But I think there are things in that number. For me, it's still for us to do better. Yes, we are doing good, but we should do better. We could do better. Those other folks, all the other folks in Nigeria are not our yardstick. They are not by any means our yardstick, so we can do better. So that's just my contribution. I should go, Prof.
Thank you very much for that submission, and I like how you ended it. Just because we make more than others doesn't mean that, we have reached the pinnacle. There's a lot more that can be done in IGR. Thank you, my battlefield. Thank you, Tidan. In IGR, that's in internal revenue generation, in VAT and things like that. But like I said, at some point, this whole conversation is going to get to the point where we have that gist about resource control and fiscal federalism is the only way for things to work in this country. I saw a news report, I didn't talk about it earlier, maybe I'll even talk about it now, of a governor, I think it was in Jigawa State, who went to the ministry at 11 a.m. and there was nobody at work. You're going to have such ridiculous things because nobody really, in fact, let me play for you. This is the executive governor from Abuja Wad. Okay. Many people have shared it. There's Abuja Wad. There's, let me play you, there's Uncle Deji and so on and so forth. Let me play you something from, okay, I think it's the person that actually, shared it. I can play it for you. Hey, my boy, also on social. So what's happening is the governor of the state decided to go to the secretariat, right, to assess the attendance of civil servants at the workplace. And he decided to go at 11 a.m. Turns out, not a single government worker was found at work at 11 a.m. 1 second, please. All right, hope you can hear me. So, not a single staff member was found at the secretariat at 11 a.m. Now, that will happen because it's like Ogota, no, people, you're not really working for the money, you're just sharing it. Even the government's gone that is collecting the money, it's not like they really contributed anything per se. I mean, I'm sure they tried with their VAT and all, but the point is, if you're working to make the money that will pay him at the end of the month, like every other person does, but because you just go and collect the money from Abuja, bring down more share, then people will do whatever they just feel like doing. Akoko says, Prof, people are really benefiting from PBAS. So that, okay, I'm coming back to that. So essentially what you have is people just taking a piss because nobody really sends anybody. But let me read this report. Prof, people are really benefiting from PBAS student loans, same people that they try by criticizing about. I mean, it's good that people are taking advantage of it. I hope more people take advantage of it. I was going to get into history today, but I want to close because it's almost 8 p.m. But I promise tomorrow I want to respond to a clip that somebody sent to me over the weekend. And the clip is about, so there are two things I think I want to respond to. Number one is the claim that Awolowo was the reason for the 1966 coup. I've talked about it before, but people have been sending me several videos from you know who. When I say you know who, you know them. There are plenty from the southeast, just claiming nonsense. So I'll probably respond to that. And then there's also the point about how all the stuff that comes to Nigeria, being important to Nigeria, always comes through the southeast, but that the government is intentionally, going after the southeast by ensuring that their ports are not working. I mean, that would make sense if the southeast had any ports at all, but I mean, this doesn't have to make sense to people who are saying just say rubbish, because I mean they have a waiting audience for the absolute nonsense. But we'll talk about that as well. Not by countering by saying I hate you, I don't like it. No, we're going to go through the facts and also talk about what Nigeria experienced when people were not importing much into the country between 1967 and 1970. So maybe tomorrow we'll have that conversation, but I'll respond to both in the course of the week. Thank you very much for being part of this session. It's a delight to be here to talk to everybody. I want to thank everybody who has power tapped, liked, and shared on TikTok, on YouTube, and on Facebook. Thank you very much for your support, for your consistency as well. And to those who gave gifts, my Battlefield, Mr. Bola Bolton, T. Dan, every single person who gave a heart me, or you gave roses, or you gave likes, whatever. Thank you. I didn't even mention it, but please, if you still can, please click on this heart icon on TikTok, this one, and join the team, drop your heart to me. It always helps, the live itself. I should have said that at the beginning, but it's better late than never. So thanks so much for being part of today's session. We'll be here again tomorrow. We have these sessions every weekday, although I should say that once in a while, I may be unavailable one of the days during the week, but I'll tell you beforehand. Get into some things that won't take time there. But I'll let you know before. Just like that happened last week, it may happen again, but I'll let you know. Some family things, some other things. All right? But we'll be here tomorrow by the grace of God, 4 p.m. Ife time, West African time. We'll discuss history, culture, politics, and innovation. All right, before we go today, we're going to listen to our anthems. I think there's some things I should read in the comment section. We have CEO quoted there saying, Prof, some local government workers in some parts of the north only show up to work on payday. I didn't want to mention that. Let me even tell you one funny story. My younger brother, he served in the north. I served in South. He served in the north. And he told me some things I found unbelievable until, I believed him that he said it, but it was still incredible in some ways. But then later on, I heard other people say the exact same thing. And CEO Koda just said the exact same thing. There are people, for instance, that work in local government, particularly local government in the north, who only go to work, they share the largest and everybody goes back home or to the next month. Why are you not going to have that kind of thing in Nigeria? Because the governors is not the one. The money is just available to be shared now, Abi. It's not like we're not really producing anything in some of these states. We just want to get whatever accrues to us from the federation account. And that way we can all eat the national cake. Somebody wants to come up. Let's be close up. Let me see. 1 second, please. We've only had one person, so Bumblebee wants to come back. Hello, Bumblebee.
Prof.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for bringing up this conversation again. I wanted to make this contribution earlier, but it's kind of skipped my mind. I think one of the things Osun State needs to leverage on is maybe pilgrimage. We have a lot of festivals like the Oshogo Festival. You have a lot of, Yoruba people in diaspora, in the Caribbean, in the Brazil and all. These are things they could lean into. Because when you talk about, look at this World Cup that just got completed now. So that locality, when it comes to hospitality, transportation and all, they get a lot from it. So I think one of the things we need to leverage on is the rich culture of Ocean State. All those places, all those locations of Yoruba heritage and all. I've had a couple of some of my expatriate friends. They've traveled to Ife and all, and they weren't so impressed with how things were put there. Yes, the history and all is rich, but maybe they need to get maybe some consultants, invest in it. Some of those rich, like the Groove, the Osho Groove, is something. All those places, the history behind it, and then all those things are things they can really, really lean into. Maybe have an aeropolis in that area. People land, come around, look at the place and all. Then secondly, they need to lean into their cocoa production. Palm oil, I know palm oil is very big in Osun State. Palm oil is very big in Osun State, but they really need to lean into all those things. And gbogbo àwọn péde kòsòkàsí wọn wà lọ́sùn gan kò síṣẹ́ tèmi ni wọ́n ṣe ń bẹ̀. So we need to it's a wake up for us. Ìgbà míì a lè máa nàka sí àwọn kan ní north pé kìnnìkan àwọn ará wa náà ìsọ̀rùn lára wa they need to do a lot in Ọ̀ṣun. It's almost like a civil service state. We school there too, and if of course campus is very vibrant and the student activities and all, but when it comes to the community itself at large, they really, really need to wake up, at least in terms of how other Western Nigeria, Southwestern Nigerian states are so, are doing so well commercially and all. They need to wake up. Ondo is leaning into palm production, cocoa production. Of course, they have oil and gas. Ekiti or Shun, they need to wake up for real. I have had that on my mind, but they need a governor that knows what he's doing. If there's of course there's a lot of arable land in Osun State. If they need to partner with the community leaders, the obas and all those things, set up mini plantations, palm oil plantation and all that cocoa plantations, it could be a public-private partnership thing. Maybe government will invest so and so amount. Once they recoup that capital, the family that owns the land will just keep, getting the revenue from it, and then you can have a vibrant economy in that place. So that's the contribution I wanted to make. Eshigo.
Thank you, sir. Brilliant submission. It's true that Osun State is not trying. Let's not lie to ourselves. Osun State can do a lot better than what we're doing right now. The kind of opportunities are there. By the way, there's Olojo in Ife. There are many festivals. Ife, every day, there's always something that they do in traditional worship. When it comes to festivals, there are several festivals in Ife. I think they have something they also do. Oshogbo, of course, Oshogbo. And he's right. Maybe tourism could be something to open up, to attract people to Ife. Olamide Olaope on TikTok says it will also encourage efficiency and progressive growth. Lagos is trying in this regard. Absolutely. Osun State needs to do a lot better in terms of their ability to generate, money and all that. I'll read some of the things on Facebook before we go. Mr. Lawale Lori is responding to the one who said they are marginalized. Thank you for your response. Mr. Babatunde Oloye, thank you very much for that gift. Thank you so much. It says here, that's on YouTube. Thanks for the gift you sent on YouTube. It says, to be honest with VAT, it's not about how much we contribute, but how much goes back to us. By the logic in Nigeria, it's even better if we generate less and get more in return. Doesn't sound right, but it's the correct thing. Because those who don't bring anything to the table are the ones getting 290-something% of what they're bringing in, 300+% what they're bringing in. Last year was 400 and something% what the Southeast contributed. That's what they got out of the VAT pool. You may be right, but I still think that for our own sanity and because we are also growing, we cannot compare ourselves with people who are doing less. We have to aspire to something stronger, bigger, better, so that when time comes, we want to have conversations about resource control and things like that, or even fiscal federalism, that's actually what applies to this, then we'll now have to now go and begin to say, oh, how do we raise money? How do we raise money? Because we already know how we raise money. As a matter of fact, I think what Osun State should do, one of the things they should do, is talk to the governors who are doing well. Lagos is doing well, Oyo is doing well, at least those two. Ogun is also not bad. Ondo, they're also doing well. They should talk to them. What are you doing? It may not be in the exact same sector, but there are lessons that Osun State has to learn, because it's not too good that VAT IGR ọmọ Ọ̀ṣun sì ni wá ó ga wọ́n ṣàràn wá kán ṣe dáadáa, particularly the people in politics, in governance, in government, I meant to say. Thank you very much for that submission, Babatunde Oloye on YouTube. Thank you, Lord, sir. Mr. Lawale Lori on Facebook says, okay, was responding to someone else. He says, why does having property in Lagos translate to achievements in life? Also, the fact that Igbos are having properties in Lagos, has it changed the fact that Lagos is a Yoruba land? If you are granted your Biafra, is Lagos going to be on your map? Yorubas from other parts of the Southwest don't need to be desperate to have properties in Lagos, because naturally, Lagos is Yoruba land. What you already own, you don't have to be desperate to possess it. I live abroad, and the only people who claim Lagos and Abuja as their states of origin are the Igbos. That should tell you about your desperation to own what does not belong to you. Have you seen people with children rushing for IVF? IVF is for people who are praying for the fruit of the womb. Because you don't own Lagos, it's the reason you are desperate to have a property there, and by virtue of shamefulness, to connect with your place. You always teach your Igbo children living abroad that they are from Lagos or Abuja. Wow. It is well. Mr. Yomi, there's nothing to add to that. There's nothing to add. It's heavy on its own. Mr. Yomi on TikTok says, Busui Oris for Osh. I don't like the way they do Osun State politics. I watch the news. Why? I don't like the things I see from there. Not everybody, but I'll come and say, wow, to Bakungbe. Awaiting governor. If you call me awaiting governor of Osun State, I don't think it's a bad thing, to become governor. Interesting. Well, I say people have been thinking about politics for me. We'll see how that goes, but let's just encourage our leaders who are there right now. They should just do better. I think they can. They just need to apply themselves a bit more. All right. Someone says, yes, you can, Baba. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. It would be lovely when the time comes. Bank says Ijesha axis can be industrial, while Ife zone can be cultural center. Interestingly, there are some factories in Ife. There's a steel company that I know. I think they do iron, whatever, in Ife. I think what Ife is actually known for at the moment is actually education and culture. There are many schools in that place. Many schools. Study centers, universities, polytechnics, many in Ife alone. There are many things going on in that place. All right. But I hope that there's a lot of development that has to come to Ife as well. Ife needs a lot of development. The entire Osun State, it needs to actually, we need to step up. It's a bit young compared to other states in the Southwest, to be fair. It's, of course, younger than Lagos or Ibadan or Ogun. But it's not, or Ondo for that matter. I want to take it. I think Osun should be 91. I think Ekiti is 96. All of these things, nothing, it's not an excuse. Osun can do a lot better than what we have right now. Omobe Oko says, we pray that Professor Busui Oris becomes the governor of Osun State. Ashe, wow. Akomora Lanko Temidire. Kama Wono, Olon Kowa Moshe. Thank you very much for being part of today's session. I think we're going to end on this campaign trail. But let's just support those who are there right now. I don't even know, when are they having the elections in Osun? I know that there is Ambo, APC, then there is Adeleke in Accord. I don't really follow the the politics in Osun as much. August, oh, okay. So the election is in August. August 15. Voters card vote against Osun by instance, so we can vote. But we wish them all the best, and we hope the best man wins. And hopefully there will be less violence, because some of the news that came out some months ago, I was like, what did they do back? Ada. Well, thank you so much for being part of today's session. We'll be here again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Ife time, West African time. But before we go, let's listen to our anthems, Nigerian anthem and the Yoruba anthem. Thanks a lot.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land, the tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve us. Sovereign motherland, our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peaceful battle honor, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. Oh, creation, when things are one we pass, thou best to be a nation when nobody's oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Nigeria may be blessed.
Iṣẹ́ wa ẹ̀wà
Orílẹ̀-èdè wa, àgbéga, àgbéga,
àgbéga fàyè rí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ní pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làpọ̀ mọ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́ àjọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀.
Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀, ìmọ́lẹ̀ wọ̀ ní wọ́kùn lágbára Ọlọ́run. Lẹ́yìn bó ní bàjẹ́, a máa gbèrú sí ni. Nigeria no ní bàjẹ́. Nǹkan tó bá dáwọ́ lé àmọ́ yọrí sí rere lágbára Ọlọ́run. May everything you lay your hands upon prosper. May God bless you and your family. And may God bless our country, Nigeria, and our nation, Yoruba land. Someone said, that's the Yoruba anthem. By the way, it was a song that was composed by Papa himself. Aolo wrote the lyrics, and it was set to music by Hubert Ogunde. So every time I sing that song, I feel close to Aolo. But beyond that, I mean, the message itself talks about who we are and what our contribution should be in society. Like I always say, we are in Nigeria, it's our country. But it doesn't change the fact that we have a nation and it's Yoruba land. And like I always say as well, sovereignty is not, nationhood is not dependent on sovereignty. All right, that's why Scotland is a nation, even though it's in the UK, and England is a nation, and Wales is a nation, and Northern Ireland is a nation. You know, so let's have that at the back of our minds. We can hold two thoughts at the same time. We can believe in Nigeria and still believe in Yoruba land as well. Thank you very much for being part of today's session. I'll see you again tomorrow at 4 p.m. if your time was African time. By the way, we tried something earlier today. It worked splendidly. So I'm going to do it again. After listening to the music on TikTok, while we're getting things sorted, we play audio of a past recording like we used to, but now just before we speak. So that gives us like an introduction to the session itself. So we'll continue doing that tomorrow. Thank you very much for being part of this session. I'll see you again tomorrow, 4 p.m. May God bless you. 4 p.m. Ife time, West African time. May God bless you and your family. May God bless our country, Nigeria. May God bless our nation, Yoruba land. Have a lovely evening. See you tomorrow. Odaro.